Hey guys, it's Manga Reads, and today what I'm going to be doing is a follow-up video on a video I did recently about the assassination plot in Old Cake Island and how I think it's going to pan out. I did that just before the chapter release of Manga Chapter 869, and most of my predictions right there were correct. If you want to see that theory, because there's some good things in it, it's like a discussion, and it's a bit of a theory, but there's some good stuff in it. Some of them have been proven right already. I won't spoil it for you, but some of it has been proven right already in the recent chapter, that is Manga Chapter 869. This week, however, we won't have a release until next week. But there's something that's been on my mind, especially after the chapter of 869 came out. There's something that I've been thinking about, and I think it's worth doing a video. You see, what happened was that I had initially thought that only Capone would die in the series. Well, not in the series, but in this actual arc. And given the recent chapter, it has me thinking. I've only said that Capone would be the only one to die because I'm only thinking of Luffy and Co. But I think there's a bit more to it. So in this chapter, well, in this video, sorry, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be outlining a few characters that I think stand a pretty good chance of dying in this entire arc. And along with the characters, I will give you a probability of the chance of them dying. Now, the first one and least likely is Pedro. And the reason I say it's least likely is because the moment he escaped the fight after a suicide attempt with Baran Chick, was it? I'm telling you, Tamago had some shit going on in that chapter, but you know what, I won't get too much into it. After his failed suicide attempt in his fight against Tamago, because you know Tamago kept on evolving and evolving. It was one of those fights so we never saw much of it, if any, because what happened was that Oda was trying to get us to a certain point for a break and stuff like that. So it wasn't emphasized too much in the manga. I know that in the anime we will see a little bit more on that. But the chance of Pedro dying after surviving his so-called suicide attack is less than 50%, and I'm going to put it at 30. The reason why I put it at 30% is because there might be someone who has to stay behind for some reason or the other. Because as you know, in the last chapter, Big Mom came back to her senses and she's going at it. She's really angry and she's really headed in the direction to kill someone. And I don't think that Pedro himself can stop her, given the lifespan that he has taken away and what he has left, and his resolve for actually. You see, when he came to Whole Cake Island, he never actually planned to go back to Zoo. And given that he survived this fight with Tamago and he tried to kill himself and he survived and all that stuff, I don't think that he'll actually die. It would be a bit of trolling from Oda, and I don't see it happening, especially given his role with the poneglyphs and his actual mission to retrieve them. Now, I put it at 30%, and it's a modest view. It's really unlikely to happen, so guys, don't look out for that happening. It's a possibility though, given his lifespan and given his mindset to lay down his life for the Straw Hats. Laying down your life for the Straw Hats lead us to the next person, Jinbe. C9 Jinbe. People, it's been speculated and it's been foreshadowed, it's been heavily foreshadowed that Jinbe will die. This is what I think will happen. And it has kind of happened already. Jinbe will be in a position where normally he would have been killed, but he won't die. And this has happened before. The moment he said to Mama that, you know what, bitch, I'm cutting, I'm joining the Straw Hats, I'm gonna join the Pirate King, you're just a yonko, you're a loser. And he straight up said that stuff, not word for word, to Big Mom's face. And she tried to play soul focus with him. That's where she tries to pull her soul out and stuff like that. And it never worked, because he wasn't afraid. And the explanation he gave was that someone can't be afraid of a mere yonko when he intends to join the pirate crew of the future Pirate King. So you know, Jinbe dying, it's been foreshadowed, and for that reason I'm going to put it at 50%. It's 50-50 because you never know the curveball that Oda is going to throw. But going forward into the actual arc, because you know we're nearing the end of it and stuff like that. Going forward, I only think that if anything, he will come close to dying. But just like in the Marineford War, there will be some miracle and he will be saved. So I don't think that Jimmy will be dying. So I'll put it at 50%. The next person to die, Caesar Clown. Ay, 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 ay. Caesar, Caesar, Caesar. Gastino, my friend. How stupid can you be? You see, when they were planning the assassination plot, he was like, you know what, I'm Gastino, don't mess with me, I'm not Caesar, don't call me Caesar in front of Big Mom, I'll be killed. But they know it is Caesar. They even said it in the last chapter that Caesar, we saw you try to kill Big Mom, we can't let you and Capone live. And Caesar dying, he doesn't have allies to protect him because everyone has been using him. The only ally he had was Doflamingo and Co, and they were taken down. Everybody else up until this point has been using Caesar. And the probability of Caesar dying is, I'm going to put it at 60. I was initially thinking 70%, but I'm going to put it at 60%. And the reason why I put it at 60%, there isn't really anything to gain from Caesar getting killed right now. And even if they were to capture Caesar, that is the Big Bang Pirates, I don't think that they'll actually kill him. Because remember, he's supposedly working on a drug to make people giants. And there's no way, with his life on the line, he's going to say, no, the research is a dead end. He's going to keep playing his cards until he can find a way out of it. That is if he is captured. However, I don't think he's going to be captured because, and this is a really big one, because I think he will have some part to play in Wano Kuni. And thinking about this, I have a really good theory. I'm going to put together a theory for the Wano Kuni and stuff like that. So don't think about it too much. But just 60% for Caesar dying. Reason being, there is nothing to gain from him dying right now. Nobody loves him. He's just being used, and he has more purpose being alive than being dead. So Caesar dying 60%. The next person, and I'm going in order from the straw hat size right now. The next person dying, and I'm going to put this one right out there, is Capone. Capone, Capone, Capone. You stupid fool. Back in Punk Hazard, it was determined that you need 3 supernovas to stand a chance of taking down a Yonko. Capone said, fuck that shit. Capone went in head on, and he was like, I'm taking down the big bitch by myself. Remember, when Luffy even came and said, you know what, I want to save Sanji, we'll help you to assassinate Big Mom and stop the assassination plan of the Vince Smokes. He was like, you know what, I can't really kill you guys right now and go ahead by myself. So he had the balls to say, you know what, I'm going in to kill her by myself. And the idea was that, and look at how stupid this is. He's going into the face of a Yonko to kill her with rocket launchers. And the people who are fighting rocket launchers don't even have haki and can surpass a mere Conqueror's haki physical field. Remember, Conqueror's haki is a manipulation of the spirit and overpowering the spirit and stuff like that. It's not by any means physical. And Big Mom's Conqueror's haki was so strong that it stopped the rocket launchers. I think that if it was clad in haki, the rocket launchers, that is the KX launchers, I think that Big Mom would have taken the damage from the KX launchers if they were clad in haki. And that was his best plan. He never had a plan B, C, D, E. I'm running out of alphabets right now. No. So you know what, Capone died? That's a big 95%. And if you look at the last chapter, you can see where Big Mom has already started, because she has started assaulting the Big Father and she's like going straight for Capone. I don't think that Capone is going to make it out alive. There's too many things weighing on his shoulder right now, and I think in the end he might actually have to give his life to save that of his wife. His wife, wow. And his kid. I think he's going to stay there and try to hold back the Big Mom pirates so the other ones can escape. He said that he would abandon them the moment that the plot was concluded, but the plot failed, and right now he's the one getting his ass kicked. I know that if Luffy sees that, Luffy will try to stop him, but I won't plan on it happening. No. So Capone dying, massive 95%. Now we're done with the Straw Hat side of things, the Straw Hat Alliance side of things. Let's get over to the Big Man Pirates. The next person who I think can die on the Big Man Pirates, I'm gonna go with Brule. And her chance of dying, 80%. The reason why I think that Brule might die is that if it wasn't for her abilities being used by the enemy, the plot would have never reached the where it got to. Luffy would not be able to get into the cake and all that stuff. And for that matter, they wouldn't even be able to assemble as a team, because remember, it was really the mirror world that Chopper and Carrot escaped from and used her abilities to get everyone together, including Sanji when Sanji and Luffy fought. So if it wasn't for her ability, in their eyes, that is Big Mom Pirate's eyes, this plot would not have gotten where it was. Mind you, there was a rat in the form of Capone, but I don't see Big Mom being the type of person to say, you know what, you were used and I understand. Come, my dear daughter, I love you. No, fuck that shit. She's gonna kill her. Brule dying, 95%. And she's gonna get killed. And if you look at the last chapter, to support my idea why I put it so high, 95%, if you look in the last chapter, the moment that my boy Katakuri got Brule, the way he held her by the chest with her clothes crumpled and everything, and he was saying that, boy, were you used. And she was saying that she's a victim here, and he just tossed her aside after that. So her judgment is coming. The next person is Chiffon. I think that's her name, Chiffon. That's Capone's wife. And if she doesn't escape, then she's definitely getting killed. So it's dependent on her escaping, and I think she will escape. So it's like a 60% chance, because you know Big Mom will go after them afterwards. But Chiffon dying 60%, reason being she knew about the assassination plot. Wow wow. She knew about the assassination plot and she never tried to stop it. Instead, she actually tried to work with it and let it happen. And she has her reason. Let's not judge her. She has her reason. So her dying 60% and it's only so low because I think that she will escape. If she has already not escaped. I'm kind of excited right now. Next person is Pudding. Pudding 9 is really technical, and I'll tell you why. She was supposed to kill Sanji, and her not killing Sanji never triggered the assassination of the Vinsmokes. And even afterwards, she tried killing Sanji, but it never worked. They will view her as the person why the plot itself to kill the Vinsmokes failed because she never did her part. And in a way, she started to sympathize with Sanji when Sanji said how beautiful she was with the third eye. Now, the reason that Big Mom has to keep her alive is that Big Mom is a blockhead. And I'm telling you guys, all this assassination plot and stuff like that, I don't think Big Mom planned it herself. She seems way too stupid, way too dense to actually think of something as clever as that. But we won't get into that right now. What I'm saying is that the reason why Big Mom would keep her alive after all of this is for two reasons. One, her Devil Fruit ability. You know, she has the ability to wipe the memory of many people. And given what we know of tea parties, it's fair to say that at tea parties, not all guests are guests, and some are just targets, victims of an assassination plot by Big Mom. I'm assuming that based on what happened with the Vinsmoke. So her ability can come in handy, given that you won't want to kill all the guests and all of that stuff. So her ability will come in handy, and I don't think for that reason Big Mom would kill her. And the second and most importantly, and the reason why I mentioned that Big Mom is a blockhead, is because what happened is that Big Mom herself has hopes for Pudding. I don't know what ability it is, but it's an ability that the people of the Three Eye Clan has, according to Big Mom, where they can read the glyphs. And as scary as it sounds, Big Mom does want to be the Pirate King. Yes, people, the Pirate King. That is no woman. So Big Mom wants to be the Pirate King. And that is predicated on she being able to read the glyphs. She doesn't have a Robin and she cannot hear the glyphs herself. So, she'll need Pudding even if she doesn't like Pudding. So, for that reason, I don't think that Pudding will be killed. And that's all I have for now, guys. Because all the other guys that we would have looked at, they don't really have much of an importance to the story going forward. So there isn't really much of a reason for them to get killed. And given that it's not going to be an all-out war for victory that we might see ensue going forward, I don't think that there will be many casualties on each side. Yes, you will have some scrubs and some fodder getting killed. And that's just a necessity of the series. You have to keep it intense and have people dying here and there for things to seem interesting. But other than that, these are the characters that I think will stand a chance of getting killed. And remember, guys, Whole Cake Island has been a really brilliant arc so far. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I look forward to what Oda has in store. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.